Ooh, it is a warm day out there. Hey everybody out there on YouTube land, it's me, the Solitary Choker. I am back from Michigan. I have talked with my cardiologist. She said, you have an atrial flutter. It's nothing to lose sleep over. So, yay! And even though I was going to go on my cleanse, whenever I go home to visit family in Michigan, I always need to decompress from that, or as I like to say, detox, because my family can be really negative sometimes. But so I went to the dispensary today and I bought some herbs. Surprise, surprise. But the reason why I bought some herbs is because I'm going to go out. It's such a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go out and I'm just going to garden my little head off. And I thought I would toke a little bit before that. So got my vaporizer all heated up, even though I had put the whole thing away. Here it is again. This is going to be a short visit, and then we will go on my cleanse officially. For however long that lasts. Okay, so there's my bowl. And here's the herb I just took it from. Okay. Hot and ready. Woo! Okay, I can totally taste that that was grown indoors. Wow. I mean, for me, I don't, like I said, I don't really know a lot about marijuana itself. I mean, I couldn't answer that many questions about growing it or the plants or anything like that. But when a friend of mine first got me, you know, outdoor herb, and then I would toke on the dispensary herb, you can just taste it. To me, it tastes like dirt. It tastes like you're smoking dirt. And it doesn't taste bad. I think, I don't know, it may just be an accumulation of the fertilizers or something. I don't know. But there is like an aftertaste of, yep, that was sitting in a pot. I don't know. You can just tell, I guess, between root marijuana and pot marijuana. Potted pot. This family trip, usually when it involves my sister, it means more stress. If you've watched any of my old videos, my sister and I just don't really get along. It's like we're magnets that always just kind of can't be together. I'm positive energy, she's negative energy, and maybe she's just negative energy to me. You know, maybe with her friends she's not that, but to me she's just a negative force, and it's something that I've always had to deal with. So there's always a good amount of stress going home, but this time, you know, and I'm always like, in my mind, I'm always having these fights with her where I'm just yelling at her and telling her how awful she's been to me and how mean she is to me. And this time, I go and do something that hurts her. And while true, it was definitely not intentional, I would say definitely hurt her. What I was doing is I always go to my favorite restaurants when I'm back in Michigan. And this time I uploaded little shots of each place that I went. Oh, here's the first stop, Olga's, gotta go to Olga's, you know. And I was doing that pretty much every day. Every one of my favorite food stops, I would upload a picture of it. My favorite Chinese restaurant that you cannot get anywhere else. The taste of their almond chicken is just so yum. And I took her and her whole family out to a fondue place one night, you know, and it was stressful because, you know, my nephew was kind of mouthing off, and my niece she's just a teenager, and, you know, and they were like arguing over what cheese to get, and I was like, I want to get this cheese, and they're like, well, she's the one who's paying, so let her get her cheese, and I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, and they're like, no, she gets her cheese, and it was just it was a lot of stress. But during that, at some point, I had taken a picture. Now, one, the picture is blurry. Two, it's of my sister and my nephew, but they're not really like they don't even know that I'm taking a picture of them. You know, she's looking this way and my nephew is looking down at the fondue pot. And you know, my sister always looks good. I mean, she would disagree with that. But she's just one of those people that always looks good. You know, when she's in a ponytail and a little polo shirt, she looks great. When she's in a ball gown, she looks great. You know, and that's not jealousy. You know, I have my look, she has hers. But the picture that I uploaded, she felt was horrible. And I'm getting to where I screwed up. I Facebook, but it's really just for like my friends that I see a lot. I mean, it's not like for very long distance friends, although I have a couple every now and then we'll say like or whatever, or like boarding school friends. And I forgot, I completely did not remember this, that if you tag someone in a photo on Facebook, it tells everyone on their friends list that they've been tagged. And I tagged my sister in that picture that she felt was awful. And it wasn't flattering. I mean, she had her hair in a ponytail and she's in a, you know, she was in mom mode, you know. I thought she looked great, but it didn't matter. She had her friends calling her up and asking her about this awful picture on my Facebook page. And she called me up and is just freaking out. Now, with good reason. I know my sister. This distressed her on so many levels. She said that I humiliated her, that I invaded her privacy, that I shouldn't have taken a picture without her permission, that I shouldn't have put it on the internet without her permission, that I shouldn't have, you know, that she said, do you even know what a footprint is, an internet footprint is, that even if you delete something, it's still out there on the internet? And I'm listening to her, and you know, yeah, I wouldn't say that that's something in my conscious awareness, but I'm on YouTube, so that's not really something that I care about. If somebody in like Afghanistan is watching my video and saying this is a perfect example of what a female American is, and uses that in their thought processes of anything evil that they might do, that would bother me a lot. If some guy was jerking off to my video, that would bother me, but then I wouldn't really know about it, would I? So, it's like money, you know, I just don't care about money. I don't care. I know that I should. I know that I should pay more attention to money and how it affects my life and how it affects other people's lives. But it's like, I'm sorry. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Any minute of any day, the government could decide, or a hacker, or someone, an evil corporation, or whatever, could decide to hack me and get all my information. And it's like, that could happen. The only way to keep that from happening is to not be on the internet. And I honestly feel that in today's world, that what I am doing with my blogging and my life channeling isn't going to do anyone harm. But she doesn't see that. She sees it as this, she could have been dancing naked in a potato sack. It's that effect. She was humiliated. She thinks this picture is going to follow her for the rest of her life. She, you know, and I was crying, you know, I mean, when I'm, this is one of the, okay, This is one of the ways that my pituitary disorder affects me. I don't react to things right away. They don't come in right away. Elizabeth's yelling at me on the phone, shit, and all I'm doing is reacting to her yelling at me. So that's all that's going through my mind. That's the only thing that I'm experiencing is, oh God, my sister is yelling at me again. And so then, so it's like a lot of her words are getting in because I'm responding to her and talking to her, but it takes a good hour for, I'd say, the whole effect to sink in. And so after she's hung up on me, 2 hours later, I'm crying because I have just distressed my sister in a way that I never would have wanted, you know. So I'm texting her, I am sorry, I don't want you to think that I did this with any malicious intent, I am sorry, I am so sorry. I am emailing her, you know, I always want our relationship to get better, I always want everything to, I just want things between us to improve. So let's just please, you know, I mean, I said, so, and I said, and here's an example, sorry, I'm rambling. Marijuana, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's an example of marijuana, losing train of thought. My sister, I email her and I'm telling her that this is an example of where I've hurt you. And normally I'm blaming you for our relationship. I mean, I didn't say it that distinctly. I just said, and this time it's my fuck up and I hurt you. I mean, I used the words I abused you because I knew that would soothe her a little bit better. I don't really feel that I abused her, but that's just kind of calming the waters. And I said, really, from the depths of me, I am so sorry. Because through the 2 hours after her phone conversation, it sunk in, all the stress. I actually heard her voice crack. She was very close to crying. And making someone cry is the worst thing in the world. If they're related to you, if you care about them, for me, there is nothing worse than making your loved one cry. So I was a mess. And this is also the day that I'm traveling back to California. And I didn't get home till 2 a.m. last night because thanks to San Francisco and their fucked up airport, which is great, and I get manicures and pedicures. And I go to the bookstore, and it's a great airport, but I'm always fucking delayed. No matter when I travel, I'm always fucking delayed. I didn't get in till 2 a.m. last night. Anyway, this has been a complete token ramble. What am I supposed to put in the title now? Is anybody still out there? From the Solitary Choker. Peace, love, ganja.